Hey guys, it's Marley. Welcome to a new reading vlog. So for this reading vlog, I thought I would do something a little bit different where I just kind of did a mood reading vlog for a week. Normally, I always have a theme to my reading vlogs. They're a little bit structured where I have a set TBR, but I didn't have kind of a video idea for this week, so I thought I'd just do an extra vlog. And I thought it could be fun because it is October and I'm making my way through my October TBR, which is full of thriller and horror books, which tend to be quite fun, quite entertaining, and pretty quick to get through. So I thought it would be fun to just vlog as I make my way through some of these books, give you my thoughts and show you what kind of fall things I'm getting up to. This week probably is going to be busy with work. It is Thanksgiving weekend that I'm starting this. It's Sunday night, so tomorrow is a holiday, so should get a lot of reading done then probably will be busy with work, and then I have a Halloween party I'm actually going to on the weekend. So that is what my week ahead looks like. In terms of what I'm going to be reading, as I said, I'm going to kind of pick it as I go, but I do have a few things on hold from the library, including Foe by Iain Reid, Maeve Fly, The Last Mrs. Parrish. But actually right now, I'm currently in the middle of The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley, which is her latest thriller. And in terms of how far into it I am, it looks like I'm about 40%, so almost halfway through. I just traveled back from my mom's on the GO train and got quite a bit of reading done during that commute. This book, I wouldn't say I'm like loving it. It is quite the usual Lucy Foley book where we're learning about a bunch of different characters in this kind of creepy setting. In this case, it is the Manor, which is this kind of new spa and resort that has opened up in the middle of this kind of small town. The town is not happy about this resort opening up. So we're hearing from some of them. We're hearing from the lady and her husband who has started this manor and following some of the guests who are staying at this manor. So we're building out this cast of characters and we know that someone is going to die within the next couple days. We're seeing some flash forwards to that. So it's this buildup of who is going to die, who's going to kill them, and why, and all of that. Pretty similar to, the guest list by her. And I have been enjoying all of Lucy Foley's books. I just haven't been, I don't think any have been 5 stars or anything. So this one, it has that kind of ominous tone. You're wondering what the connections are between people. You're seeing how people have different issues with each other, especially over this manor and the controversy of it. What's most interesting about this book to me is that there's almost like a supernatural thing that she's teasing. It kind of seems like, oh, they're mentioning these birds. I don't want to spoil anything. I guess I won't. I'm only 40% of the way through, but they're mentioning these birds. And it's kind of ominous. It's like, do they mean real birds? Is this like a metaphor for something? I almost feel like the birds are like spirits or ghosts. I don't know. There's just this tone to the book where there seems like maybe there will be something paranormal, which I kind of like. I like when thriller books put that in, even if there doesn't end up being anything paranormal. It's kind of fun to be wondering if there will be something spooky like that throughout the book. I do think her writing is pretty easy to get through. I feel like her chapters are quite quick, so it's pretty engaging and fun to read. So that's gonna be the first book on the docket that I'll let you know about. I think I'm gonna have some time to read tonight because I'm home alone for probably a few hours. And then as I said, tomorrow I'm off work, so I'll have plenty of time to read, and I might start working on my Halloween costume for this weekend. Okay, here's an update on the Daisy costume so far. Daisy Mario Kart. This is my box. This is gonna be my cart. Put wheels on the bottom. So now I need to paint that, obviously. Then I'm gonna put this bow on the front of the cart. These are gonna be for her jewelry, so I'm gonna tape these onto some earrings I have and put them in my ears, and I'm gonna put this onto a necklace that I have and wear it on my neck. Then of course I have the crown, which I've just cut out and painted, her little iconic flower on the front, and it looks like she had red jewels on the sides. I'll be doing maybe a little bit more today, and mainly I'm gonna finish this off later in the week, but I had time today. Already it's about 5 o'clock on Monday. I feel like I've been pretty productive today. I went out for a walk. I finished the book. That's the most important thing that I did. Obviously, I also worked on my costumes, but I just rated The Midnight Feast 3.5 stars on Goodreads. I feel like I liked it well enough. It kept me quite engaged. You know, I read like almost half of it today. It really, you know, kept me reading, kept me interested. I mean, those short chapters obviously help and stuff, but I don't know, like something was just a little bit off where I didn't feel comfortable giving it 4 stars. Like I didn't quite enjoy it enough for that. I feel like there were definitely twists, but there were definitely a few that I guessed. I guess there were some that surprised me a little bit, but I don't know, just like there was something a little off about it. So many of the characters, we just learned how kind of unlikable they were, how bad they were. So then it just got where I wasn't really going to be surprised by what happened, because I knew what these people were kind of capable of, and I figured that there were kind of obvious people who would want revenge. So I feel like she had like a similar kind of idea with this one as she did with the guest list. So I don't know if she's going back to like something that worked for her in the past. It just always seems to be about like people getting revenge, which maybe that's common in a lot of thrillers. No, not always, I guess. But yeah, just kind of a middle of the road thriller. So I'm kind of in the middle of the road on if I would recommend it to you or not. I guess I would just recommend it if you enjoyed her other books, or if you haven't read any of her other books. So maybe this would be like a fresh thriller for you if you haven't read her style yet. Now I might shower, because I was holding off because I was maybe going to work out today, but because I'm still kind of fighting off a cold, I feel like for the most part I've fought it off, but I just don't really want to risk it by like exerting myself too much. So I think I'm going to skip my workout, just shower now in preparation of tomorrow when I have to go into the office, and then we'll make dinner. Eventually Dakota will finally be done work so we can spend the evening together. I also watched the finale of Big Brother, and this was such a good season. If for some reason you skipped it, like this was probably one of the best seasons that there's been, so you definitely should go check it out. And the person that I believe deserved to win did win, and yeah, I just feel really good about this season, so love that. Sup fam. So I thought I would just do an update to close off Tuesday. Obviously I went into the office today, so all of the reading that I did was on my commute. I started Foe by Iain Reid. Only got to 36%. I was hoping to hit 40, but it's fine. So far, the book's a little bit boring at the moment. Not hating it, but you know, not too much is going on. Basically, we have this couple. Junior is the husband and Henrietta is the wife. They seem like a very, you know, average, typical couple, married couple living on a farm in the middle of nowhere. We're hearing from Junior's perspective, and this man shows up, the only other character we've seen so far, and he tells them that Junior has been chosen through like a random lottery system to go to space, because this seems to be some sort of sci-fi kind of futuristic setting is what it's hinting towards. But he's been chosen to go to space, where they've like created this new planet, space system. Then the guy is just kind of like updating them through different visits on the status of this, and it's all leading up to, I guess, him going. That's literally all that's happened. Like we're seeing Junior's inner thoughts. He's obviously not really happy about it because he just wants to stay and have his normal life. He doesn't want anything to change. He wants to stay with Henrietta. Henrietta seems upset about it as well, but there's something we don't know. Like she knows something more about this than what she's letting on. Just with some of her reactions and behaviors, she seems to know more than Junior or us as the reader. So I am kind of curious of where that's going to go. I know from the synopsis that Junior is, you know, eventually going to leave, and that someone's going to stay with Henrietta, which I kind of know what that means, but I don't know, it's just like I don't really know where this book is gonna go, what direction it's gonna go in. Obviously having this kind of space sci-fi setup, like it could full on go to like something crazy, like maybe aliens or something. That's kind of what I'm preparing for. But obviously I've read I'm Thinking of Ending Things, and I really liked that book. And then I also read his other one, We Spread, and I didn't love that as much, so don't know which way this book is gonna go. What else am I up to? I've been watching Agatha all along. We're fully caught up right now, but the show's not over. I would recommend this show though, and I know I should have been watching it when I was filming that witchy reading vlog that I uploaded last week, because this obviously fits the vibe of that, because it's about witches, but it's a Marvel TV show, and I'm really enjoying it. And Joe Locke is in it, and he's doing great. He's from Heartstopper. I'm just so happy to see him, and all the other women in the show are great, so I would recommend that show. And this is coming from someone that has been disappointed in a lot of the Marvel stuff recently, but yeah, that's good. And then I've also been watching Love is Blind, the latest season, the American season. I guess this is also a TV show vlog, an update, but that is like the worst season we've had so far. Like, it's really a struggle for me and Dakota to get through it. So I think most of the episodes have aired, but like we are still quite a bit behind because it's just not really fun to watch. And I have a stupid like pimple on my lip that I popped and now it's red. Anyways, those are the main updates from me. Tomorrow I will probably have no update just because I have work and then the work meeting. I look forward to coming back to you with a full review of Foe. Just thought I would check in this Thursday morning. Yesterday I went to the office and I had my work meeting, so it was quite busy. I did get to read on my commute as I was traveling around, so I am at 70% of the way through Foe. I was hoping to be further in, but it is what it is. I don't even really know what to say about this book, to be honest, because I feel like in terms of what's going on in the plot, it's like the same as what I described before. So because there's not a ton going on, like I really don't want to spoil it, but things are not really changing. Like I guess it's not fast paced. We're very just in this moment still with this couple and the man who's, you know, telling them this information about how Junior has to go to space. I'm starting to craft a bit of a theory in my head of what's going on. I'm kind of seeing some of the messages that Iain Reid was putting into it, but I think it's really going to come down to how this book ends and what the major maybe twist is or what the major point is going to be to this book. But I wouldn't necessarily say I'm loving it at this point. It's seeming to be a little bit more similar to We Spread than I'm Thinking of Ending Things in terms of my enjoyment level of it just being a bit lower. So that's too bad, but I feel like I can probably finish it today. I am of course going to be working throughout the day, and I have quite a bit of things going on with work and things I want to do in my personal life. I'm actually thinking of maybe not going on my daily walk today just so I can like save some time, because yeah, I would love to finish Foe, and we are going to be painting our Mario Karts for our costume today as well. So I don't know, I might just stay in, especially with how this week's been busy so far. So yeah, I'll just check in later. Foe has been completed. I have returned it to the library, the ebook, and I have rated it on Goodreads. And unfortunately, I did end up at a 3.5 rating, which obviously that's not a bad rating. I just can't stop freaking noticing my red mark here. That's really annoying. But I was ultimately a little bit disappointed with it. I definitely wanted to like it a little bit more. You guys obviously saw me be a little bored throughout the book and just be kind of like waiting to see what the ending was gonna bring. There definitely was a twist to it, but the twist was not that surprising. Like, it was definitely something that crossed my mind, and it was definitely something that I think would be kind of obvious to a lot of people, or a lot of people would consider it as a theory for sure. So that left me a little bit disappointed. There was kind of an additional twist, I guess, to the end. It was just kind of fine, like overall enjoyable, but pretty middle of the road for me. Still like Iain's writing and how he writes quite unique books. You know, I wouldn't call his books basic. He's trying to focus on some different, you know, interesting themes in all of his books, but it didn't overall work that well for me. And in terms of this being categorized as a horror, I really don't think that is correct. Like, I don't think this was like should have been a horror. I would call it like a literary fiction sci-fi book is what I would categorize it. So I feel a little bit disappointed in that too, because I definitely wanted to read a horror book for October and for Halloween. That being said, I think the next book I'm going to jump into is going to be Maeve Fly. I think this will serve me more the vibes that I want, because I know it is about like a serial killer, and people do say it gets quite gross. So that's gonna be next. I'll show you guys if I end up starting it tonight or not. We are just making dinner right now. Still haven't worked out yet because I just did not want to do it earlier, so I still have to do that, and of course paint our costumes still. Good night, everyone. I just wanted to check in this Friday night before I went to bed, probably pretty soon because it's about midnight. I think I showed you a little bit of my day today. I had my dentist appointment, I worked, we made our little Halloween snacks that we're bringing to the party tomorrow, the little bat Oreos. Very simple Halloween treat if you want an idea. I've been watching a few things tonight, and of course I did start Maeve Fly. I'm about 30-something% of the way through now. To be honest, at first I wasn't loving it, but I feel like it's one that is gonna grow on me as I go. It's definitely out of my comfort zone. It's described as like a splatter punk. It's gonna be quite gory, quite out there. So I think this will be interesting to see how much I enjoy something like this or not. Our main character is named Maeve Fly, and she works at the happiest place on earth, which is Disneyland. Yeah, she lives in California, and it's very descriptive of California and Los Angeles. I did go there for the first time this year, so I feel like it makes me or helps me understand a little bit more, but some of the descriptions I'm like, okay, we get it, girl, we get it. You were in LA. I don't know, it's just coming across kind of unlikable or like kind of bugging me. But even though she plays Elsa at Disneyland, and even though she plays this like, you know, pretty princess, she is actually a very like dark person, quite weird and quite not like other girls. I was looking at Goodreads reviews of my, you know, people I follow that have read this, and I think it was Riley Marie. She gave it 1 star and said that it was just really giving I'm not like other girls energy, and it really is, honestly. I think that is part of what was bugging me at first as well. But I don't know, as I said, I'm starting to get more into it. We almost have like maybe a bit of a romance, which is intriguing me. Like, I think they're both going to be really messed up people, but I feel like that's something, as we're starting to see that character of like this maybe love interest or partner in crime, whatever, I think it's making me a little bit more interested. So far, we have had definitely some weird behaviors from her, definitely, I guess, some like sadistic behaviors and a few gross things. And if that's only 30-something%, I feel like it is gonna get pretty gross later on. Oh, we also painted and finished our costumes, so I'll either put some photos up here or I'll just show you tomorrow once we are at the Halloween party and all ready, and with the rest of the people in our group costume for Mario Kart. Hello vlog. It's been a minute since I checked in. Bit of a busy weekend. I had that Halloween party that we traveled to, and we did win for best group costume. All of us, the 5 of us that did the Mario Karts. I don't think I got a ton of footage, but I will include some photos here if you would like to see the final look of me as Princess Daisy and Dakota as Bowser. It was a really fun time. Unfortunately, this morning or this whole day I've not felt the best. I've been a little bit hungover, a little bit sick, but we traveled home and I've really just been vegging out. We finally caught up on Love is Blind. There is so much drama. It did get more interesting to watch once they were out of the pods. A lot of unlikable people. And I'm at about 82% of the way through Maeve Fly, which is very close to the end, but I told myself I was going to end this vlog, you know, on Sunday, so it was a full week. So you'll probably have to get my full review and rating in my wrap up, but I will just talk a little bit more about it because I think my last update I was still pretty early on. I know I mentioned like the romance part of it. I mean, it's kind of an aspect. I wouldn't say you should expect a romance going into this though. It's quite like sexual. There's a lot of horrifying and gross things related to sexual content in this book, which I wasn't necessarily expecting. It really is about, you know, the character of Maeve and how she is afraid of losing people that she is close to. She only has a few people she's close to in her life, her grandmother, her friend. So we are really looking at kind of her character and her fears and I guess how she deals with them, but I don't really feel like a huge connection to her character. Now obviously that's probably because I cannot relate to her very well. She would probably be a sociopath or psychopath, like I don't know, but I wouldn't say I'm like really rooting for her character. Obviously I know I still have the very last part of the book to get through, but I would say that I thought it would be even more gory and splatterpunk or whatever based on the description. So I don't know if that's still to come because it is starting to ramp up now that I'm at the final portion of the book, but I will say I thought it would be a little different than what it is, and I feel like this book is gonna end up being like a 3-star again. So I think all the books I happen to read in this vlog are definitely not my favorites, which sucks because this was kind of like a mood reading vlog, thriller and horror books for October, and I feel like it wasn't super successful. Luckily my vlog last week was. If you didn't watch it, definitely go check it out. I read witchy books and I really enjoyed those books at least, but I feel like the books I read in this vlog were all just so mid for me, so that's unfortunate. But as I said, maybe I'll end up liking the ending of Maeve Fly and will want to rate it higher, but I honestly don't think so. And I don't think these types of books of having such like horrific content are gonna necessarily be my thing, but at least I am trying out this book. It does have commentary, I think, that it's trying to say, but I feel like it is a little bit convoluted and not necessarily like really speaking to me either, but I guess I can talk more about that when I finish it. Anyways, so this has been a week in my life during October. What I read, almost 3 full books, and I did some fun Halloween activities. So let me know how your October is going. Hopefully your October reading is going better, and hopefully you're doing some fun fall activities. I hope you will subscribe for more future reading vlogs. Should I do more of these random mood reading weekly vlogs? Let me know. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of the month, and I'll see you guys in a video next week. Bye.